All right. Looks like we have our guest here ready to go, and that is, of course, head coach of the Miami RedHawks. His name is Chuck Martin, and he is going to join us live right here on the show. Coach Martin, you got me? Can you hear me? I appreciate you making some time.
Yes, I can hear you good. Can you hear me?
Yes, we got you. Thanks so much for stopping by and joining us here for a few minutes.
How about this for a backdrop? That's a good backdrop, right?
Oh, yeah, that's perfect. That is absolutely gorgeous. I love it.
Too bad it's cold. I'm going inside.
That's all good. But I appreciate you, Coach, making some time here for us on the show. Crazy year, really, for the Miami RedHawks. And now you look down, and you're going to be headed back to the MAC Championship, obviously, for the third consecutive year. Have had some success, obviously, in that game in the past. But kind of just contextualize this year for us a little bit because, it was a rough start. You drop your first 3 games. One game, the offense doesn't really do much. Then the defense doesn't really do much. But then everybody's just able to mesh and come together. You get hot during MAC play, and you're headed back to a game in which you've played at several times, obviously, in the MAC Championship. Just kind of contextualize this year for us and how your team was able to get to this point.
Yeah, no, again, when we lose both 3, 5, we lost everybody on our offense. We lost 4 back. We lost our top guys on offense. And then at 6 back on defense, one of them's done for years. So we knew it was going to be a huge transition year, but we got back and kids had a race, step up and play. And then we got some, we had 40 freshman transfers. And also, we don't start off good. The UNLV game, that was the key week because we're 0-2. We lost to 2 Big Ten teams. We got a really good UNLV team who I think is 10-2 right now at our place. And they just beat UCLA. And we played our tails off that day. We actually played good football for the first time all year. We had 2 14-point leads. We blew them both. And then we had the ball inside their 20 with 2 minutes to go to kick a winning field goal, and we fumbled away. And I didn't know how our kids were going to react. I was worried that can this young group, inexperienced group, absorb this tough loss? And then we win 5 straight, and we're in good position. But then we have a gut-wrenching loss to OU. And then we lose the game to Toledo, and everybody left us for dead. We got to go to Buffalo, and kids rallied again. And now we're down to our 3rd quarterback, our 4th running back, our 5th linebacker. We've had so much attrition since January, and kids just keep playing. And like the first 2 touchdown passes Saturday in the biggest game of the year, Thomas Gotkowski to Braylon Isom. Thomas Gotkowski didn't play till week 11, and Braylon Isom didn't really play till week 7, like a snap. And in the biggest game of the year, they catch. So the announcer's like, who are these guys? I don't know. A lot of kids have stepped up, and it's been an incredible journey. It's been a blast. It's a great group of kids, but my coaches have kept everybody together, and that's always the key. When you see a team that has resolve, the head coach gets a lot of credit, but it's really the assistants that don't fall apart, and they stick together, and our defense has kept us in this thing all year, and somehow you look up and we're in a 3-way tie, and we beat Western and no one else beat Western, and that was the common denominator. We get to go to the MAC championship game. We couldn't be any more thrilled.
Absolutely. And, we all love MACtion because kind of the parity of the conference each and every year, right? You got these games in the middle of the week, and it always feels like, either team can win. I think that's what kind of draws people in so much. And, the conference is always good. There's always good football in the conference. But I'm watching this year, and I'm like, dang, these teams are really good. What's kind of your state on just the, conference as a whole, the MAC as a whole? Because I look at this team, this conference top to bottom, and there's just some really good teams.
Yeah, and again, the tough thing is we all lose good players every year, so you always have to replace some top-end guys that are getting poached. But everybody's done a good job of replacing kids, and the bottom teams are getting better and better. And like I said before the year, I don't think there'll be an undefeated team. I was hoping I was wrong and we would be undefeated. But it turns out there's 1 team with 1 loss, and then there would, with 2 weeks left, there's 5 teams with 2 losses, and it's anybody's race. So a lot of parity, just like across, if you look at college football, there's not a lot of teams. The ACC has a 6-way tie for 2nd place. So this is pretty common, and this crazy when the rosters keep changing. Everybody's a little more inconsistent than they want to be because we're all playing new guys within our systems, but you just got to keep plugging away. But it's been crazy. It's been MACtion at its finest this year. If you think we're here because we beat Western, but we're also here because Ball State beat OU. We're also here because Bowling Green beat Toledo. So anything can happen, because those are not likely outcomes. We just beat Ball State, and after a game, to think that we're going to the MAC championship game because Ball State beat OU is pretty mind-boggling.
You've had to play a lot of freshmen this year, and probably guys that even going into the year that you didn't expect to play a ton. I believe it was like 28 seniors that graduated last year, so obviously a very young group. What are some of the challenges with dealing with that much youth on your roster and guys that you need to step up in big moments?
Yeah, inconsistency in preparation, inconsistency, and just during a game, it's a lot of plays, and they get too high when things go well, and they got too low when things didn't go well, and that was kind of who we were early in the year, and we are still at times week 12. There's times on the sidelines we don't handle, like, we got to play the next play. We got to play the next moment. So everybody's going through that. We're going through that, but our kids have come a long way. Our coaches have done a great job working with our kids. If you look at our secondary, like UNLV, and we lost all our confidence in the second half. We didn't give ourselves a chance. They scored 31 points in the second half. It was like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And there's a lot of people that thought that way, but just our coaches and our kids have just learned to, okay, next time I give up a play, I got to fight through it. I can't go in the tank. And again, sometimes you got to learn hard lessons, particularly in athletics. And our kids learned a lot of hard lessons through the year, and have gotten stronger from it. And I'm really proud of them.
Specifically on Thomas, the quarterback, obviously he's got a couple of starts, under his belt now. He's gotten some playing time. What specifically went into that decision? And I'm watching him play, and I don't want to get carried away here, but obviously you've had great quarterback play with Brett Gabbert for a long time. And some of the plays he makes and some of the toughness he shows, that looks a little bit familiar. Maybe we've seen that at the quarterback position for Miami a little bit. What went into the decision ultimately to roll with him, and what do you like about what you've seen thus far?
Obviously, we had a quarterback change after Toledo, and Henry came in, and things didn't go. Or excuse me, going into Toledo, and Henry came in, and we didn't play very well. And it wasn't just Hank; he didn't play great that day, but we didn't block great, we didn't run great, we didn't do anything great against Toledo. We were terrible on offense, including me. I run the offense, so I'm not making excuses. It was a bad night for all of us. We kind of went the Buffalo game, plan on playing both of them, giving Thomas, taking some pressure off Hank, and give Thomas not the keys to the car, but so we're kind of going to play them both early and just kind of see how the game went. And obviously Thomas's second series let us down for a touchdown, and we kind of stuck with them, and things just kind of rolled from there. So there wasn't a master plan necessarily to just wholesale sub, because Hank's played some really good football for us and done a good job for us. But obviously during the Buffalo game, we just rolled the hot hand. And then obviously after that game, you got to start him against Ball State, and he played well again. So it's just kind of the way things played out. I didn't want to put the weight on the world of Thomas and, say you're the starter at Buffalo. And I wasn't giving up on Hank, because I still know Hank can play really good football for us.
Western Michigan, kind of some similarities with them and you guys. Like, they struggled early in the year. They dropped their first 3 games there as well. They've gotten really hot here of late, and obviously haven't dropped the game since you guys beat them at the end of October. Special teams played a big factor in that first game, and obviously they're going to want to run the football with Lowry, their quarterback, there as well. What are some of the challenges specifically that they're going to bring to the table on Saturday?
Yeah, I say they're similar to us in the fact that the different schemes, but they're really good on defense. In 6 of the 8 conference game, they've given up under 300 yards, which is pretty amazing. To hold your opponent under 300 yards, hard to do. 6 of the 8 games, they held Ball State to 88 yards in one game. So they are really, really good on defense. Offensively, like you said, they got Brock Lowry. They got the tailback who was freshman of the year in the league 2 years ago, is a really good player. They got some really good receivers. So they're going to run the ball and take their shots down the field. So similar style to us, a run the ball, play defense team, just like Miami. So different schemes, but same philosophy.
Miami head coach Chuck Martin joining us here live on the show for a couple of more minutes. Playing an opponent for a second time, right? Obviously in the NFL they deal with that all the time. Doesn't always happen in college, but certainly has happened in the past, and that's something you've had to deal with there as well. Here at this point of the year, early December, like, you are who you are. You're not going to change the identity that you have as a team. But what are some of the changes that you would make, or is it pretty much you're going to run out there and it's going to be a very similar style to the game that we saw at the end of October?
Yeah, I think both teams, it's hard to go wholesale changes week 13 for one, but obviously we're 2 quarterbacks removed from the last time we played Western Michigan, so we're a little different. We're a little different team than we were, but we haven't changed our offense much. We're still playing the same style of offense. So, but I think your point is it's week 13. There's a reason they got here. There's a reason we got here. We're going to do what we do good. Certainly, you'll look at that first film and try to figure out any things that you might want to do a little bit differently. That you did this and you didn't have success, so you maybe stay away from that. I'm sure they're doing the same, but they're really good on defense. They're really good on offense. They're not going to change their identity. We're not going to change ours.
And, Coach, kind of going away and just talking about college football in general here for this question. Obviously, Lane Kiffin right now is the story of college football. And, I'm looking at how the whole situation played out, right? I understand his players, of course, would want him to stay and be the coach. And I totally get if you're Ole Miss that, if he wants to leave, he probably shouldn't be hanging around. But my biggest takeaway is that clearly this calendar, it seems like it's broken, right? Because you go all off season. You got your summer workouts, and the goal in mind is to be playing in the postseason. Then for another team to come in and take your coach right before that moment, it just doesn't feel right to me. What's your take on that whole situation?
We're close.
Yeah,
we're close. The recruiting schedule's way better. We got the signing dates this Wednesday for high school. The portal window. I know the college football playoffs still be going. There's nothing perfect, but you get through most of the bowl season and a lot of the college football playoff before the portal opens in January. Okay, so that's good. Now, what if they did this? And no one ever listens to me. No one ever even asks me, so why would they listen? What if we had a coaches portal in January too? Ooh. That you couldn't hire or fire a coach until January. So these kids talk, these kids aren't very loyal, and they did whatever. These coaches, what coaches are? I mean, I'm the only loyal guy in America. I'm in 12th year at Miami. Like, the guy's got an undefeated team, and that is the problem. Like, let's make the coaches portal in January too. You can't fire a guy during the year. You can't fire James Franklin week 4 because you have some pissed off alums that are running the show.
Yeah,
and he's one of the best coaches and proven best coach. And I don't know James Franklin. I'm not friends with James Franklin. I'm not pro or con James Franklin. But firing him weeks, that's where this starts. It starts with the schools. Mm-hmm. The schools make these decisions, and schools no, you can't. You coach for the whole year. Then after the year, we can fire you, and after the year, we can hire a new coach, and have that portal mirror up with the player portal, and then you wouldn't have to deal with this. But again, like I said, that's me and you talking. No one's really asking us, though.
All right, final question for you, Coach. I know your arm's probably getting tired. I'm asking you to hold that up for so long, but
I'm gonna switch it. It's been a good workout.
You've won this game a few times, obviously, but this year, kind of the unorthodox year that it has been, what would it mean to you to bring this back to Oxford another time here in 2025?
It's amazing to get this point. It's hard to get this point. 19 we did and won. At 23 we did and won. At 23 we had a really veteran team. 19 we had a veteran team. 24 we had an even more veteran team. We didn't win it. We didn't play very good, and OU played good, beat us. Now I got this team I've got 5 guys, your back-to-back years. This is old hat for you. I got 5 players that played in this game last year. How about that? That's mine.
Crazy.
5 players. There's not one offensive player that's going to step on the field that played in the game a year ago. And there's only 5 defensive guys.
Yeah.
We're going to play 50-some guys or 45 guys, and 5 of them played. And again, we're 1 year removed. So you think, oh, well, you got an advantage over Western. This is old hat. I go, no, Western's only 5 guys behind us. Trust me. This is pretty amazing that this group got us here. And if we could win it, it would be even more amazing.
No doubt about it. Coach, I appreciate you making some time from one Red Hawk to another. Thank you very much for joining the show, taking some time, obviously, on a busy week. Best of luck to you and your team on Saturday. Obviously, everybody out there, make sure you make the trip up to Michigan if you are able to do so. Get some tickets and get the Red Hawk faithful out there in full force. But, Coach, I appreciate you. Good luck, and we'd love to do it again sometime soon.
Awesome. Anytime, let me know. Appreciate it, man.